Hey, welcome to Screenplay Junkie. My name's Drew Hellmich, and I'm a screenwriter. Film is a pretty sweet medium of art. However, before anything can make it to the big screen, it must start as a blueprint, text on paper. So if you're a fellow addict of film and storytelling, come join us as we take a look at various types of screenplays, short stories, and other source material that were crucial to the creation of the stories that we all love. I must warn you, though, there will be spoilers, so I do recommend being familiar with the title that's being discussed. Sound good? Cool. Then let's get started. Back, fellow story addicts, to Screenplay Junkie episode number 37. Drew and Bryan here.
What's up, brothers?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
All right, we're going Spanish.
Bien. Yeah, didn't you start last time in Spanish too?
No, I didn't start last episode in speaking Spanish.
I think you did it last episode too. I mean, you got to learn some new languages. You got to diversify.
I don't know.
What are you
I'm
doing
sorry.
over there? Yeah.
You know, I did my 3 years in high school and scratch that 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
And junior high, bro.
Yeah, don't forget about that. That was tough, real tough.
I forgot all of it. I forgot all of it.
It just goes with anything, man. You learn stuff and you just forget about it if you're not using it in repetition.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, that's what they say in the 40-year-old virgin, I believe. But we're not talking about the 40-year-old virgin. We got the Waterboy today.
We have the 31-year-old virgin.
Oh,
Bobby.
The Waterboy. Pretty relevant topic, actually, with the NFL just kicking off and college football.
Definitely the reason we chose to do this one. Football is back. So we're so relevant. We're the most relevant podcast out there.
This will be coming out week 2 of the NFL. What has college been around for 3 weeks now or something?
Week 3 college coming up.
Indeed.
I just want to mention fantasy football really quickly because I lost by 1 point this week. And I was pretty.
I guess I was pretty bummed out. Yeah, I'm sorry for. I can't even access my account, so I don't know how my team's doing at the moment, but I'm rooting for them. by all means. It was funny, man. I think you said, I took, Saquon and, Odell. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, no one cares about our fantasy football team. No one gives a shit.
Yeah, let's list off everyone we have in all of the millions of leagues we're in right now.
You guys want to make a trade?
Oh,
Can I offer you guys some trades?
No, absolutely not.
No. Well, if I had access to my account.
I'll trade you for some IMDb info, though.
We could do that. We could arrange this trade.
Ooh.
All right.
Let's talk the Waterboy. All right. So the Waterboy came out on November 6th, 1998. So in football season. It's got a 6.1 user review on IMDb, so that's by the people. But the critics, they say it's a 41 out of 100. So that's an F. That's an F on a test. 41 out of 100, you failed.
Yeah.
So that's not so good, but it's a comedy. It happens with critics, you know. It's Adam Sandler.
But I'm assuming you're going to get into the gross on how much this movie made, because I was aware of that.
It made a ton of money, but I'll get there. So I'm going to read the log line first. A Waterboy for a college football team discovers he has unique tackling ability and becomes a member of the team.
Short and sweet. That's definitely the plot of the movie.
Short and sweet. I'm a huge fan.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of that.
I agree with you.
I'm also a fan of the tagline for the movie here. Like taglines, it's just a quick.
Yeah.
Like here, boom, and here it is. It's instant hero. Just add water. It's a good, really good tagline. I love it. Let's see though. This movie was directed by Frank Corasi, and it was written by Tim Harley and Adam Sandler.
Okay.
Starring in the movie is Sandler. Kathy Bates plays his mom. Henry Winkler plays Coach Klein. And Fairuza Balk is Vicky Valancourt.
Perfect.
Fairuza. It's a strange first name.
Well, didn't you say, what did it, you send it?
It means turquoise in Farsi.
Okay, yeah.
Who speaks Farsi? What language is that? Where do they come from? Like Farsland?
I have no idea.
No, I believe it's like Pakistan.
Really?
In that
Farsi.
area.
I guess
I could be wrong.
I mean, like, we speak English and we're not from England, so I guess I can't really apply that logic. But whatever. So let's get to the budget, Brian. You just brought it up. So they made this movie for 23.
Persian.
It's Persian?
Persian language.
Farsi is Persian.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is what Google is for. We just Googled the hell out of that. Way to go, guys. Hey, maybe our podcast, maybe you're not into it, but at least you learned something.
Yeah, thanks to our on-site intern. He Googles things for us.
Yeah. Sometimes. We never let him talk, though. He will never speak. That's right. All right, so they made the movie for $23 million. That's a lot. Like, I was kind of shocked by that number.
Wow.
I thought it'd be a lot less, but $23 million, that was the price tag.
Okay.
Worldwide, it's made $185 million.
Okay, nice, yeah.
It's huge.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you guys know or not. I saw that this is the top #1 comedy movie ever that made that much money.
I don't know if it's the #1 comedy ever, but you're close, and I'll get there. I have the exact wordage of that just on another sheet, so I'll get there in a second.
Okay.
Oh, actually, it's time to get there right now, so let's do it. Let's hop over to the trivia.
Perfect.
Hop over to trivia. So this film, Brian, you were so close. It's not the highest-grossing comedy of all time. It's the highest-grossing sports comedy of all time.
Oh,
right?
okay. See,
Where
that's just...
You were close. You were close. You were just missing an adjective.
Gotcha.
But The Longest Yard from 2005, also Adam Sandler's movie, is the #2 highest grossing sports comedy of all time.
Wow.
So this movie...
What's #3?
I don't know.
Little Giants?
I think it's MVP, most valuable primate.
Man. I don't know if I could rewatch that movie. That's probably really bad.
Yeah.
It's like a primate either plays baseball or skateboards.
The first one is hockey, I believe.
Hockey, okay.
Yes.
Right. Of course. How did I not guess?
Well, once Air Bud came out, they were like, how can we rip this movie off?
What other animals can play sports? Oh man, that's funny. All right, so let's get back to Adam Sandler and The Waterboy. So The Waterboy was the highest-grossing football or sports movie of all time too, not including comedy.
Wow. So it had both.
It was the highest-grossing sports movie of all time
Wow.
before being beaten by The Blind Side in 2009.
I've actually never seen that.
You've actually never seen The Blind Side? Really?
I've seen it once.
No, I never saw it.
It's inspirational. I mean, it's like a
Yeah.
guy. He was
Yeah,
homeless. He got
it
taken
is.
in by a family, and then he made it to the NFL.
Okay. Sweet.
Michael Oher.
Yeah, true story,
Yeah,
right?
if you like Sandra Bullock, you could enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so merchandise. Let's talk merch here. Mud dogs, right? Everyone, like, you go to college towns, you see people wearing Bobby Boucher jerseys, like, or hats, or all these things that they're still selling today. You can still buy it. I think it's on Amazon. Merchandise for this movie is still a thing.
Yeah.
To be honest, I almost grabbed a T-shirt. I was like, you know what? I may not need this right now.
How much? Was it like $25-$30?
For an actual, they had stitched Boucher jerseys that were around 25, but
Oh,
they
25.
didn't have my size.
That
so
definitely was
that's
made
why-
in China or
that's
something
That's what
suspect,
pushed
too.
me away.
I mean, it's definitely a cool item, but you're right. You said it's something you definitely do not need, though.
Here's something a high school definitely did not need. So this Louisiana high school, I don't know if it was a couple years ago or whatever, but they basically bought the Mud Dog uniforms, recreated them for their entire high school football team. So for a whole season, they were the Mud Dogs and had the exact uniforms you see in the movie. And a high school team, even the coach wore the exact same jumpsuit that Henry Winkler wears.
Okay.
And a
They wore
bucket hat.
those awful
And the head
brown
coach was wearing a
pants.
bucket hat.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
Yeah, the uniforms are really ugly, but the high school did it. It was a nice little
Wow.
tribute. All right, this is crazy. So when the film was released in November of 1998, it was preceded by the trailer for Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, which was coming out in 1999, the next year, right?
Yes.
So many Star Wars fans who were not a fan of Adam Sandler, they didn't give a shit about football or The Waterboy. They paid tickets. They paid for this to go sit in the movie just to watch the preview for Star Wars.
Oh, and then left.
And then they left.
Oh, that's crazy, man. But that's pre
Wow.
YouTube.
Yeah. If you wanted to see
looking
the
at
trailer,
trailers and stuff.
if you wanted to
I
see a
could
movie
argue-
trailer, you
I
had to
could
go to the
argue
theater.
I could argue that's probably why this made so much money, to be honest. They probably had at least a couple $1 million just for Star Wars nerds.
Just a couple mil just for people who watched it for 10 seconds.
That's unbelievable, man.
And got out of there, yeah. Wow.
It's a crazy story. I mean, that doesn't happen anymore.
No.
All right, so let's talk inspiration now for this movie. So how did Adam Sandler get the idea for it, right? Because Well, actually, it was him and his friend Tim Harity, I think his name was, who wrote it. But the lore is that they got the idea from a few of Adam Sandler's things he had already done. So a Cajun Man sketch, I guess, was something they did on Saturday Night Live, making fun of, the Cajun, Louisiana area. Then he had songs, which Adam Sandler's comedy albums are really funny. I don't know if you guys have ever checked them out. They're pretty funny. But
a little bit, yeah.
He had songs called The Lonesome Kicker and another song called Canteen Boy. So, right, like all those elements, you kind of add them up together, you get a football playing Waterboy.
Yeah.
In Louisiana. And apparently Sandler and his friends got the idea for this movie while just sitting at Adam Sandler's house. This was, after Happy Gilmore, after Billy Madison. Adam's well known now in Hollywood. Yeah. And they were just sitting down doing characters and just talking about something funny for an idea. And Adam was doing the Bobby Boucher impression or whatever he does, and it just blew up from that. They literally just took that and expanded it into everything that is the movie.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's
just messing around.
Wow.
Just a couple of guys goofing around, and then they just take a character that they like, and they just picked locations. They just filled in all the blanks. I told this to you guys when we were off air. They got the idea to name the school Southwest Louisiana State University because they saw some D1 basketball team make the tournament in a really low seed, and they were called Southwest Missouri or some shit. Yeah. And they were like, wow, that is ridiculous. I can't believe a college is named with two directions.
Yeah, right.
What the hell? So you're telling me that Missouri has a north, south, east, and a west, and now they have to have a southwest or whatever? It's crazy. So they wanted to do that for sure. I mean, it was just a bunch of guys goofing around, and all their ideas together became the movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
And an interesting thing, too, is about this Adam Sandler movie is that it's different from his past works, right? Because think about Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison. Adam is the goofball who's being thrown into a professional or the real world, right? So all the other actors, they're straight men. They're normal people, right? Not goofballs. Whereas in this movie, everything's up in the air. Everyone in Louisiana is a total goof, it seems like.
Yeah, seriously.
He's not the only funny person in the movie. There's other funny people. He doesn't have to carry everything.
Yeah,
Whereas Happy Gilmore, right? He's the only funny person in the movie, really.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, Shooter's funny.
Right.
But Shooter's supposed to be... He's like a heel, It's a different kind of funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, true.
I just thought that was interesting. All right, so the Mud Dog Stadium that they used to film in the movie, they used a high school. It's called DeLand High School Football in Florida. And the director got the school to agree to let them use the field only if they paid to refurbish the entire field after filming. So that field looked like shit, right?
Re-turf it?
Yeah, they just, they probably pumped a couple, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 G's into the school just so they could redo the stands, redo the turf, all that stuff. Because it was just grass field, not actual turf.
Good for the school.
Yeah, it was a good deal for the school. Absolutely, they got a new field out of it.
Yeah.
So the Mud Dogs, they're initially going to be called the Crawdads.
The Crawdads, okay. What is a Crawdad?
Southwest Louisiana State Crawdads. It's like a shrimp.
Like a crawfish.
That's pretty good. I would have liked that.
I mean, go Mud Dogs. Sounds so much better than go Crawdads.
Yeah, Mud Dogs. I like Mud Dogs.
Mud Dog football. What did you guys think of the football scenes in this? Did you like them? Like the actual filming of the football. Did you believe it? Did it look like football?
Convincing to me.
I mean, yes, at points, no. But I mean, I guess I can just cut to now highlighting the hits seen in this movie, because there's some pretty big ass hits that are laid throughout the movie.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, I wonder if they had some WWE choreographers coming in and showing guys how to do that stuff. Apparently, the director said editing the hits was a nightmare too because the sound,
absolutely.
right? Listening to the sounds of the hits and putting them in the right spots over and over again. He's my eardrums were ringing for days. I couldn't stand it.
Listening
to the contact over and over again.
So were all these hits if we even know, were they stuntmen or just whoever?
I think they'd probably hired a bunch of athletes to fill in.
Athletes, yeah, for sure.
Stuntmen, athletes, or whatever. But I know Adam Sandler did do a lot of the football scenes. Probably not all of them. When the drop kick happens, he probably didn't do the drop kick. But I know he did make some tackles. He was out there doing stuff for sure.
Okay.
Cool. And apparently, the kicker,
Bob from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, Bob from The Walking Dead. He they had to hire a kicking
Bob
trainer.
From The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Yes.
You didn't know that?
Wow, no, I had no idea.
You recognize him now, though, right?
That is recognizing him, yeah.
Yep. Instead of killing zombies, he's kicking KKK headed footballs. But they had to hire a kicking professional to come in and teach him how to kick, because for that one shot where they have the KKK guy's head, where he's visualizing it as the ball so he can kick it through the uprights.
Yes.
It was just that's the only shot, the only time you see him kick a ball ever in the whole movie. But they wanted to make it look real, so they hired a guy to come help them.
You know, this is a random tangent, but I'm just going to call him Bob because that's who I know him as, mainly from The Walking Dead. So Bob is a kicker.
Bob the kicker.
In the
Waterboy.
Waterboy.
They share a helmet.
Huh? Well, yeah,
and
they share helmets.
helmets.
But Bob's a kicker in the Waterboy, and then as Bob in The Walking Dead, the cannibals eat his legs.
This full circle, man.
Yeah, seriously.
They're all connected. It's all related. It's all
That's ridiculous.
related.
They were like Walking Dead producers, like, so Bob, like, how do you think you want to go out? He's like, I was a kicker in Waterboy. Can you eat my legs?
I'd really prefer it if you ate my legs. So the Bourbon Bowl, right? The Bourbon Bowl is like the apex of this movie, of the story. It's what it all leads to. It's Southwest Louisiana State University against the big Louisiana University of Louisiana.
Yeah,
rival coaches. It's Waterboy's former employee.
right.
And they filmed that at the Orange Bowl. Oh, no, excuse me, the Citrus Bowl in Orlando.
Cool.
So that's a giant stadium.
Yeah, seriously.
They got like 5,000 UCF students to go in the crowd.
Nice.
I was going to bring
right?
that up. Yeah, I was amazed. I was like, wow.
It's a lot of extras.
They filled these stands. They absolutely filled them.
And it was January when they filmed too, so it was only 40 degrees outside.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So to get people to stay, right? Because that's a huge thing. You got to get these people to stay for the whole time. And,
free lunch.
And you have to convince them, like, oh, we're shooting from this side, so we need you all to move to this side of the stadium so it looks like the whole stadium is full.
Okay.
All that shit. They were giving out free T-shirts. They were doing raffles. They had a jet ski raffle.
I mean, why wouldn't you want to go to that?
And Adam Sandler was, like, interacting with the crowd, like, throwing footballs up there and shit, like... All the actors were there, so it was a spectacle for people to go watch. And
that's cool, yeah.
They were just running plays over and over again, so you kind of got to see a little action.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if you were a college student and you could just go get drunk and like hang out.
Yeah, if I'm a
that
college
sounds fun,
student,
man.
I would totally go to that.
And they were giving you like free Mud Dog shirts because they needed you to look like you were a fan in the movie.
Yeah.
So
Mud Dog.
Not a bad deal.
No.
Let's talk about Kathy Bates, right? She was convinced to take the role of Bobby's mom by her niece because she originally read, I think it said the first 10 or 15 pages of the script, and she doesn't like football. So she threw it out. And her niece comes up and picks it out of the trash and says, whoa, this says Adam Sandler on it. You don't know who Adam Sandler is? And they talked for a couple minutes, and boom, she signed on it right away.
Oh, man.
Wow.
She just judged it hard on football.
I mean, she's a very serious actress.
Yeah.
Misery? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, seriously.
Crazy movie. You guys know Farmer Fran? He's like the assistant coach for the Mud Dogs.
Yeah, the guy who can't talk.
Yeah, he's like the super... He's like the super Cajun guy. And it's just kind of crazy, like, because people in Louisiana, I've never seen it myself or heard it myself, but they talk like that. Like, you can't really understand what the hell they're saying. And they interviewed this guy, Todd Holland. He was a former LSU player. And this is his quote on the accent in the movie. He said, this is exact quotes, "I don't know if it was on point as far as the tone, but it was definitely on point as far as you can't understand a damn thing they're saying." So people in Louisiana, like, yeah, in the bayou, you might come across someone that you just don't know what the hell they're saying.
All right.
Bobby's father at the end of the movie,
Roberto.
Right? Roberto. That's the director. It's a cameo.
Oh, is it really?
That's the director.
Oh, wow.
And longtime friend of Adam Sandler, Frank Caracci.
Okay.
It was pretty amazing though, because like he pulled off, like, he sounds very similar to the way that like Adam Sandler plays Bobby Boucher, like when it comes to like voice acting.
he does.
You know,
You could just imagine them hanging out and just doing that to each other all day, as they're like just
oh my
chilling
god.
back and forth. This film is included on the film critic Roger Ebert's most hated list. He hates it.
Okay, all right.
I read his review that he actually wrote himself in 1998. It's very funny.
I'm sure it is.
He just shits
just
on it.
rips it apart. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Everyone has an opinion.
So this is pretty classic. All right, so you guys know how other countries will dub American movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it'll have subtitles, but then they'll also dub it with an actor of their own country's voice, right? Well, the German dubbing of The Waterboy is regarded as the worst dubbing in history. because apparently the German actor that they hired to do Adam Sandler's voice, the voice actor, he had some like goofy cartoon voice, and anyone in Germany that was trying to watch the movie just couldn't get through it because the guy voicing Adam Sandler was just like horrendous, just horrible to listen to.
After the show, I'm definitely going to look this up, and I need to hear this.
Yeah, I want to hear the voice too. I mean, it's just so funny how like dubbings, right? Like, I'm just dubbing another movie from another country. Like Americans, we don't do that. We don't consume dubbed, like
except for like Godzilla movies.
Yeah, the old Godzilla movies are classic. Those are great.
I'm just trying to imagine this movie in German. Like, what would that even look like? And plus,
they don't have football in Germany.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, the Germans, like, do they even watch football? You know, maybe now they do, soccer. But in the '90s, who knows? Yeah.
It's so goofy. I mean, I just couldn't believe. Like, I was like, why is this even in trivia here? This is hilarious. It's the worst dubbing in history. And then the last thing I have here for trivia is that the box office success of The Waterboy allowed a bigger budget for Sandler's next movie, Big Daddy, which was just starting to be filmed during the release of The Waterboy.
Wow, okay, right. Okay.
What are you guys' thoughts on Big Daddy?
I mean, I always thought it was funny and entertaining. Pretty interesting that the Sprouse twins switched off throughout the movie.
Yeah.
They look too much alike, you have no idea.
It's funny that they grew up to be on the Disney Channel after being in that movie when they're like hawking loogies, touching the sidewalk. Throwing sticks at rollerbladers so they'll fall.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
Now, I'm sure most, if not all of you listening have seen this movie before.
Many times, probably.
Yeah, probably many times.
Many times.
Honestly, I really, really hope you've seen this movie.
An unhealthy amount of time. So we're not going to really go plot point by plot point. We're just going to talk about things that we think are fun and have kind of goofy conversations here. So we'll see how it goes. But let's talk about just first of all the legend of Bobby Boucher. Who is this guy? Who the hell is he, and what is he doing?
He's 31. Mm-hmm. 31 years old. He's living at home.
Yes.
He's the greatest water boy to walk planet Earth. I would argue that.
Yeah, man. He adjusts pH levels. He's doing all kinds of
stuff.
Why
wouldn't you want to hire him for your team?
Exactly.
Elite performance, elite hydration. You need a water boy. It's essential. And I think that, did you already make this point, Brian? Like how the bullies would spit into the cooler? It's like, you got to drink that, man. You got to fucking drink that. What do you get thirsty?
Every time I see this movie, it's like they kicking it over, they're spitting in it, they're doing everything to it. It's just like, as an athlete, you are dehydrating as you work out, and you're just unable to drink any water now. So
yeah,
they spit in the cooler.
However, actually,
it's like my favorite line.
We first need to mention how this movie starts out and what the first line of dialogue is.
Oh, yeah. Well, we start at the University of Louisiana practice, and this guy runs by like he's doing the 40-yard dash, and they clock him, and then the head coach just goes, cut his ass. And that's the first thing you hear in the movie. It's just so classic. That coach is such a dick.
Yeah, he is, seriously, man.
He's such a douche.
So let's go back to Bobby though. So so he lives with his mom. So who is she? I mean, because she's totally overbearing, and we said this earlier. She's completely not allowing him to live at all whatsoever.
Yeah. So I mean, as if you're listening, you've seen this movie, you know that in the end that she is doing this because the husband leaves and she doesn't want to lose Bobby. Yep. So she is just completely way too overprotective and just wants to keep him within the household for the rest of his life.
Yes.
Fear of abandonment.
And she's pretty ignorant. Well, not even pretty. Yeah. She's extremely ignorant.
Everything is the devil.
Yes.
It's such a I mean, it's kind of a true take, though. If you're raised like that and you're homeschooled and...
That's your worldview,
yeah, man. You just believe what you're taught.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a real take there. An underlying theme of this comedy. It's an uproarious comedy with underlying themes.
It gets really deep. So in the opening scene, that's when Bobby gets fired by the dick coach that we were talking about. Yep. So that's his goal right now. And he wants to find another job.
And he was not the water boy. This is the title. Oh, yeah. He told his mom that he was the water distribution engineer.
I'm pretty sure even the coach called him that.
Really?
Yeah, I think when he was like a kid, when they cut back to like a kid scene.
That's classic.
I think he may have said that.
I wish I was still like playing sports. So, like when you played high school football, at least we would have a trainer,
right,
that would have water and just like equipment if someone got hurt.
Yeah.
And I wish I could just go up to them and be like, "Excuse me, water distribution engineer, may I have some Gatorade?"
Well, they might spit in your Gatorade.
Yeah,
water.
exactly. They spit in a cooler.
So yeah, Bobby, he's looking for a new job. So I guess he just goes to the next college nearby.
He cold calls, goes to the nearest college, Southwest Louisiana State University,
and that's where Coach Klein is hanging out.
Coach Klein's a bit of a mess.
He is a mess. He also has issues.
Total mess.
Yeah. I'd say him and Bobby have like very similar issues because we learned later on that Coach Klein and I don't remember the other coach's name. The guy who's
Red.
Coach Red, yeah, the one who's a total dick. They have a past together where they were both on the same coaching staff for the same team. There was an older coach who was too old, going to retire, so it was between either Coach Klein or Coach Red to be the new head coach. And Coach Klein was the mastermind behind all the offensive plays, and Coach Red was kind of just kind of an idiot. It seems like
Coach Red was just like your hard-nosed coach, just the coach.
Yeah.
But then, Coach Klein was the offensive guru, the Sean McVay, the young, sexy coach
with the green notebook.
Yeah, the Matt LaFleur, who's the coach of the Bears again? Matt Nagy. Yeah, offense.
And they both had afros.
It was such a nice touch.
But Coach Red basically threatens him if you don't give me that playbook, it's going to get physical, whatever.
He basically blackmails him into becoming the head coach, and then he fires his ass once
right when he's done.
The head coach. Yeah, and this sends Coach Klein into a spiraling downward, just like awfulness.
He can't think of a play for his life of him at this point.
He's just a broken man. He can't even do anything.
And Brian, I know you wanted to mention your favorite scene of Coach Klein that made you laugh.
Oh, jeez. Favorite weird scene was just like once he goes into the state of like depression, probably. I'd say.
Because Coach Red just took his playbook.
Yeah.
And fired him.
They do it so well with the movie. They cut to it like you think he's actually talking to like his grandma, but they pan down and it just shows a cordless phone not connected to anything, and he's just in high heels. And it's just like he is so messed up in the head right now.
It's great. It's great.
I love Henry Winkler. He's so good at playing like the oddball.
Yeah, he is really good.
He is. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen Barry. He's really good in the show Barry.
No,
it's very funny.
Oh, he's like a teacher or whatever.
He's the acting teacher. He's great.
Well, I mean, so basically, the point of this movie is that Bobby's a loser, right? And he discovers that he has this ridiculous talent of being able to tackle people on the football field.
Yeah.
And that's what the movie's about. And they eventually win the Bourbon Bowl, right? We don't have to go through it all.
Yeah.
Coach Klein gets his confidence back, and Bobby's mother allows him to...
She gets over her fear of abandonment. She's okay with Bobby exploring the world, going to college, playing foosball.
Yeah, just nothing is the devil anymore.
Yeah.
Vicky Valancourt is not the devil anymore. But let's talk about Bobby, guys. Who do you think? I mean, it could be contemporary or maybe older guys who have played before. But who would you say Bobby Boucher is a good comparable player to an NFL guy?
I could right off the top. I a little Ray Lewis action.
Yeah, man. I had some Ray Lewis. I had some Troy Polamalu, little Brian Urlacher. I mean, he's like everybody.
Yeah, right.
He's very instinctual.
He's got it all.
My comparison was just based on age, probably Brandon Weeden.
Coming in the league a little late.
Yeah.
I think Brandon Weeden was drafted when he was 27, and Bobby started college when he was 31, right? So he'd be like 35 getting drafted.
Oh my God. Yeah, we were looking at that because we were saying, what year would it be? The 2001
The movie came
draft?
out in 1998, so he played the 98 season in football. 99, 2000, 2001 would be his senior year.
Yeah.
So he would have got drafted in the 2001 draft.
Okay, yeah. So we went over this, which teams would be like, because what do you think, Bobby Boucher?
He's the number one
first round, the numero uno.
He's 1-1, baby. He's the best player in the world. He had 14 sacks in a game.
He broke the NCAA record.
Yeah, he did.
Who cares? He's 35. He's gonna play till he's 60.
Because he's drinking that crazy water. Not only are you bringing on a player,
you're also getting a water boy.
Exactly.
Your NFL team is going to be hydrated.
The locker room atmosphere is going to elevate so much.
Oh my
But
God.
who are those teams that had that number one pick?
Well, the Falcons
Or
had the number one pick in 2001.
And who did they draft?
And they picked Michael Vick. So it's like, shit, am I going to take Michael Vick, speedy quarterback, elite offensive player,
Boucher.
or do I take Bobby Boucher, hard-nosed linebacker, sack machine,
And he's
man of pain?
and he's a figure of the South.
True.
Oh man.
That's a really tough pick as a GM. That's one that's like, hey, you make the wrong decision, you're going to lose your job.
You know,
You better pick Bobby Boucher. Michael Vick, he missed some time. He was out of the league for a few years. You know, Bobby, he would be there for your team.
yeah.
He's a team guy, team first.
I also want to mention with Bobby Boucher's appearance, like that's someone you create in Madden with the freaking kicker's face mask
Neck
as
roll.
a linebacker.
He's got a neck roll. Yeah.
Number 9. I wonder why they gave him number 9.
I don't know. That's a
Yeah.
good question.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe it's probably Sandler's favorite number.
Yeah, maybe he probably just
Or
picked
something
it.
like
Exactly. I feel like the last thing we need to say about Bobby, and then we can just kind of move on here, is that like he's only able to play football because he visualizes the people that bullied him,
Right.
and it like sends him into a
Visualize,
rage.
execute.
Which is great.
Yeah, and then he executes on the field.
Right. So based on all of the things that maybe he visualized or even other people visualized, which one is your favorite? Which one did you like?
I got it first. Like,
Matt, you can go first.
Clear the best is when like it's in a game. There's like a scene
he
where
doesn't
the
take
coach
mine.
of the other team, he's telling like it's like the third string quarterback. He's like, just go out there. He's like, just do your best. And then Bobby's visualizing as the guy's about to take the snap, and he's like, my mom was the most beautiful woman in the world. Why would you say a bad thing about her? And the guy's like looking at him. He's like, I didn't say anything about your mom. Please don't kill me. And then he snaps the ball,
Damn you.
and then they get a safety, and then they win. And that's the Mud Dogs' first win in
yeah.
4 years.
Right.
It's
No,
so
yeah,
fucking funny.
that's my favorite one. I was gonna say that. That was my favorite.
That was
one.
yours? I think
Yeah, dude.
I think my favorite one is probably when Coach Klein tells him that water sucks and Gatorade is better because there's like that whole ensemble of like every single player.
A lot of editing there. They had to crop his face into
Yeah,
every
every
single
offensive
player's
player
face.
just
They
saying
did that
water
well.
sucks.
I think
It
they did
really,
that well for
really sucks.
1998.
And do you know who that was against, Brian?
Iowa Hawkeyes,
Yeah, it was.
which was amazing. As a child, I just didn't realize. And then watching now, I was like, oh wow,
Yeah, it's a little plug for you.
yeah, right.
This is a perfect time, I guess, just to mention because we brought up Iowa. So, like in this movie, they play Iowa, apparently Western Mississippi, Central Kentucky. They play Clemson.
Yeah.
In the 90s, Clemson was a joke. At this time, their football program sucked. It's kind of weird that they're so good now.
Yeah.
But they also played Vanderbilt, Louisville, and then Iowa was the last one. Yeah. So
Okay.
cool. I wonder if those schools had to like pay to get their, their.
I don't know how
Their
that, I don't
logos
know
out
how that
there
would
and
go.
stuff.
How they
I don't know.
chose, yeah, weird.
Or did they just have to ask permission? Maybe I don't know.
I mean, I just want to go back to the visualization of the tackling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, watching this, I was thinking about what I would visualize. Like, do you guys think? What do you think you would visualize if you could even think of anything right now?
I don't know.
If I could think of anything,
Like that would make me want to go
make me-
tackle it or like run it over.
Yeah,
Man,
it's definitely not easy.
yeah,
I don't know.
no one really bullies me. No one's making fun of me. on a
No,
daily
yeah,
basis. Like,
no one's.
I'm
no
not
one's
waking up.
bullying me.
Brian, you're not here, so you wouldn't know. But it's not like Drew's waking up every day and calling me needle dick, and, telling me I'm worthless. Yeah, no one just
I
like
don't know.
bullies us
Yeah, no,
enough
it's tough.
because Bobby did that because he was bullied so much.
I just remember when I was in 5th grade, that was the first time I played football, and our team was awful.
I hated getting hit when I started playing football.
Right. I'm not saying I was good either. Like, our whole team was like awful, but I was, I guess, fortunate to get the position of halfback, and
You were just like the kid with like the most athleticism.
no, but I was so small. We were an entire rookie team, I should mention. They put us all first years on the same team, and we were facing other teams that
Yeah,
had
you were set up for success.
whatever amount of
entirely.
experience. But I remember like the first couple games in, because I mean, getting tackled at that age sucked,
It
especially
sucks.
when your offensive line is awful.
You didn't have one.
No. But I remember someone telling me, I think it was our parents actually, just saying like, just imagine once you get the ball, like a bunch of aliens are coming after you, and you just gotta get by them and run everybody over. And I was like, okay. I don't remember if that helped, but
You're like,
I remember
I can
that.
vibe with this. Yo, this football shit makes no sense. You throw some aliens chasing me in here? Just give me the ball. Let's go.
That's the motivation I needed.
I remember being at your games and just being completely disinterested. Just being like, when the fuck can I go home? Like, I'm hungry.
Well, by the way, I should also mention we scored 1 touchdown the whole season.
Yeah, you scored it, though.
That was awful.
And, yeah, you did score it. So you got that participation trophy, and you won it. You won in the end.
And I said slap hands in the end zone, and nobody slapped my hand.
Slap hands? Yeah, your football team essentially was the Mud Dogs before Bobby Boucher got there.
Basically.
You guys just needed a 31-year-old to join the team, and you would have whooped everyone's ass.
I am 6 with Cran. Okay, I want to move over to Vicky Valancourt now because she's a very interesting character.
She showed me her boobies, and I like them too.
I mean, this chick is like, I mean, she's nuts, man. She's a criminal.
Yeah. She is a criminal. She steals LT's car.
Yeah.
And her peak insanity to me is when she threatens to kill
that one dude.
She's like, do you want me to kill all the people giving you the exam, the high school exam?
Oh, yeah.
She like holds it up on a cardboard sign.
Well, there's that too. And then there's the other part when when the Mud Dogs are having their rally before they even go to the Bourbon Bowl. Then the douchebag team shows up that they're playing.
Right.
And she just puts the blade up to that guy's neck. Remember that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I guess
she got let out though.
Even further with it, a quick like symbolism throughout the movie. The apparent triangle on her tattoo represents water.
Oh, really?
Oh, whoa.
Huh.
Interesting.
When I was watching that earlier today, I was thinking it was a fake tattoo. It looked pretty fake. Or just like really grimy.
I'm assuming it's fake.
It's totally fake for sure.
Yeah, it represents water, so, hence Waterboy.
Interesting.
Cool. It's a nice little Easter egg, essentially.
Yeah, right?
I know we also wanted to mention some alliteration to character names, right?
Indeed. Yeah, so I just off the bat throughout this movie, of course, of Bobby Boucher. We have Vicky Valancourt. We have Farmer Fran. We have G. Granulli.
Yeah, he was the quarterback. G. Granulli was the quarterback. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Coach Klein.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, that's a C and a K, but it works.
Yeah.
It works.
And
but
also,
it's just real interesting.
It is. I mean, I don't know. A litter of names just work better, in my opinion. They just roll off the tongue much easier, and they're more memorable too. But I also want to talk about which. I mean, if you have seen other Adam Sandler films, you may have recognized this in the fact that the romantic interest of Adam Sandler's character typically always has the initials VV. So Vicky Valancourt, Veronica Vaughn, Virginia Venant. Those are like some 3 that I can fire off. I'm not sure what the whole deal. I'm not sure what the deal is about that. Maybe they were just like, hey, whatever. This would just be goofy. Let's see if people recognize it. But
maybe I think that's what they were doing. They were just trying to throw a little Easter egg in there for fans if they would notice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool though.
Something that carries over from each film. It is cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a style, like a trademark, watermark.
Yeah.
Is that for photos? Like they have a watermark, right?
Yeah.
When if you're at like a wedding and they take your picture and it's like, oh, here's the picture, but it's got a watermark. So if you post it on your Facebook, everyone can see that you didn't buy it. So like, oh, this guy's too cheap to buy the picture.
Right. Or sorry,
this is just a little side thought I had. All right, so we find out in the movie that the Mud Dogs, right? They're using their Waterboy, Bobby Boucher, to play linebacker. So other teams in college football realize this. So the University of Michigan in the movie tries their towel boy at wide receiver.
Yeah.
And you see a clip where he just gets owned. The kid just gets absolutely destroyed by a safety on a slant. It is hilarious.
Yeah.
But what other colleges do you think are trying out their equipment people on the field? Like Iowa, Bryan, did they just throw the equipment manager at free safety?
They're going to put out Herky the mascot. They're going to throw him out there.
Oh.
Mascots.
You know what that reminds me of? Freaking NCAA football mascot games.
That
was awesome.
Those are the best.
I always do. That was I loved playing that more than the actual game itself.
Yeah, because you would just pick the coolest mascot and just throw him out there on the field.
Exactly.
What about the team doctor? It could be hey,
the trainer.
You got an arm?
Yeah.
You want to go sling the ball around? You want to play quarterback? Get him out there. Be like, hey, use your sports science knowledge and throw this ball.
I'm trying to think of other people even on the side.
Other side of people. Like the chain gang. Be like, hey,
the chain gang.
We like the way you guys are moving those chains up and down. Let's try out at left guard. Get you pulling, get you into space, you know? Get you in the 3-point stance.
Fill the hole.
What'd you say, Brian?
I said, what about the band tuba player?
Yeah, the band.
Okay, yeah, the band. That would be interesting.
Hey, listen, we see what you're doing at halftime. We like your footwork. We like these formations you're making. We're gonna take some of those formations. We're gonna put them on the football field now. All right. So drop that tuba. Here's a helmet. Let's go.
I think there would be a lot of injuries that week.
That'd be the worst football team ever.
Well, then the football players have to play instruments then too, just to even it out.
Yes. This is it. I just thought of this. Bobby didn't know anything about football, right? When he started playing, that'd be so hard just to be like, hey, you're this crazy athlete.
Oh, yeah.
But I have to teach you this whole sport. That'd be really hard.
Yeah, it would be awful. It would be terrible.
Doesn't he just accept? He's like, I just go after the football.
Yeah, but he's a linebacker though. Like if he was like a nose tackle or like a defensive, like D tackle, I could see that where you're just like, okay, when the ball is snapped, go get the quarterback. But he was playing linebacker. Like at one point, he dropped into coverage and got an interception. Do you guys remember that scene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, did he know he was just like rocking a cover too? There, he's like, all right, I got middle flat here. You know.
I mean, this is
No chance.
You could totally like get around him so easily. All you have to do is line up in shotgun and just immediately toss it to the other side of the field where he's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Coach
it's a
Ray,
movie.
he honestly did have the best play in the game. You know, they were winning, take a knee.
Yeah, I loved that.
Yeah, that is a good.
But he stopped
strategy.
doing it though. Did you notice? Like they threw it in there, but then he stopped. It's like, why would you stop? It was working, man. What a movie.
Yeah.
I love the ending scene too. Did we say this on air? Yeah, I can't remember.
No.
When the ball's in the air and it's like slow motion. It's
Oh, wait,
the final play.
Oh, no, we didn't mention this.
Bobby's throwing the pass, and there's all this drama building up. And right before this guy makes the one-handed catch, you just get the shot of the Farmer Fran coach just like rubbing his nipples. I just love it because it's like a moment of real serious sports movie.
Then they just throw it in.
And it's just there, here's a guy rubbing his nipples. What the hell?
And they're pierced, by the way.
Yeah, pierced nipples. Which they convinced the actor to do just to make it more funny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even after that, once Bobby and Vicky get married, right? Because that's when Robert originally comes back out of his desertion of his family once he learns that Bobby Boucher is an amazing athlete.
Yeah.
That's when he's like coming back saying that, we could partner up, be like Tiger Woods and his daddy. And that's when we find out where Bobby got this talent because his mom tackles the shit out of Roberto.
Yeah.
Yes. Correct.
Oh, that's great.
And then they ride off on a tractor, just married.
Yeah. Just off into the sunset to do it all night long.
As Rob Schneider says.
That's Rob Schneider's first Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And as he will be in every other one that Adam Sandler makes.
Adam was like, hey, you're going to stick around, buddy. Like, we like what you're doing over there. There's one scene when she recruits him to go to the candlelight vigil. He's just eating a raccoon.
Yeah.
And there's blood all over his face. Whoa, Rob Schneider. Hell of an acting day.
Yeah, it was New Year's. That's how he was celebrating New Year's.
It was New Year's.
Eating just raw meat.
Louisiana, crazy place. It's definitely not like this at all.
No way.
But
No.
people are pretty hard to understand, like Farmer Fran. We would definitely have a hard time communicating down there.
I'm sure people probably don't know what we're saying either.
I speak so clearly. I never fumble words.
Yeah? Oh, wow. Yeah, with
never-
that football puns again.
I did not do it in this episode once.
See what you did there.
Well, I mean, is there anything else you think we need to talk about here that's relevant?
No, I think
good,
I'm pretty dehydrated with this movie here. I need to be hydrated now.
Okay.
As you started off strong there, but you did not close.
We've been carrying awful puns from Buried to this. I'll just go first. So, yeah, Waterboy. All right, if I have to give it a star rating, I think I'm going to give it 2 stars, man. I like this movie. It's stupid. But, I mean, it just does what it does, man. It's just a dumb movie that you watch and you laugh at. But I think it is one of the better sports movies that I like, and it's easily one of the better Adam Sandler movies, in my opinion. I mean, the 90s movies that Adam Sandler was in are definitely his heyday. the stuff he's putting out now. I haven't really watched. I'm just not really interested.
You don't like Pixel, bro?
Pixels, Jack and Jill. No, you can get out of here. You can get out of here with that stuff. Yeah, yeah, man. The Waterboy. I think it's definitely like a really good template to look at as far as comedies are concerned and sports comedies, and also just looking at characters and how they're flawed in the beginning, how they're going to change. Because it's just really, I don't know. To me, the characters were very simply laid out, and it's easy to look at how they progress as a person,
and easy to predict. What might happen too. Right?
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
What do you got, Brian?
Watch this movie again. Like, I always thought this was like super funny as a child, but like watching it like in these past couple of days when I did, I was just like, oh, like some of these jokes, some of these times, it's just like super cheesy and corny. But I'm always an Adam Sandler fan, of course, the '90s Adam Sandler fan, but huge fan, super funny as Bobby Boucher. He's a character that, as of now, I think if a movie was released, it'd be a lot of feedback on it.
Negative feedback, you mean, right?
Negative feedback. Lots of negative feedback.
This movie's not PC, that's for sure.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm a huge fan. Like, football movies, I'm always down to watch. And, the rise of a star that you don't think will do such well in the sport.
Yeah, underdog, yeah.
So, I mean, it's just like one of those movies I think I'm due every couple of years. I'll just throw on.
How many stars?
Oh, I'd agree with Drew. I'd say 2 out of 5, but I'm always laughing.
Yeah, I just want to reinforce, like, 2 out of 5, but, like, I love this movie still. Like, I'm just giving it a 2 based on just, like, overall film quality, I guess. I don't know.
I'm going to go 3 stars. Just because, I mean, I'm just looking at what this movie gives you, and it makes you laugh. You're going to laugh your ass off if you're someone who enjoys football and enjoys goofy comedy. I mean, if you're looking for something very serious, this movie's not for you at all whatsoever. Like, it is it is a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a total joke because some of Adam Sandler's other movies, like I said earlier, they have the more serious side, like Happy Gilmore. He's in pro golf. Like, all the other characters are serious. So there's moments where it's not as funny, where this one is just constant joke. Even if Adam's not on screen, like, you'll be laughing at what the quarterback said or what, someone else on the team did.
Yeah. I
think it's just a masterclass act of, like, Sandler and his goons, right? His, like, troop that he brings with him everywhere he goes. Like, they killed it on this one. A+. Like, everyone was funny. I like how I didn't have to rely on Adam to make me laugh every 5 seconds. Like, other people were making me laugh.
Yeah, totally.
I like the story, and the football aspect is the bomb. I thought they did a really good job with filming all the football stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 stars. I love it. I could watch it anytime. Watched it way too much when I was hungover at U of I in my undergrad.
It's on Netflix now, so you can watch it whenever you want.
Yeah, now it's on Netflix. It was always on HBO for us, HBO comedy,
really?
At like 8 in the morning. I would just wake up and just pound water and watch The Waterboy.
You probably needed that water that was blessed by the Eskimos.
The blue water, yeah.
Yeah.
It's always cold. It's always cold.
That's some high-quality H2O.
No matter what platform you're using to listen to us, I just want it to be known that we're available on iTunes, Spreaker, and YouTube. So if you like our content, please be sure to follow all of our channels so you can stay in the loop with new episodes. Also, feel free to give us a rating and leave us comments, or send us an email at screenplayjunkie.show@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your feedback. Also, if you have any recommendations of screenplays we should read, movies we should watch, or really anything, let us know on any of our platforms. We're always looking for other things to check out. With September coming to a close, the next released episodes until Halloween will be devoted entirely to the genre of horror. So to begin this Fright Fest, we're going to be looking at the 1999 horror comedy that stars Devon Sawa, Seth Green, and Jessica Alba, Idle Hands. Thank you for listening. We hope you can join us next time.